I'm making this video so when someone says the US would lose a fight to Russia, I'll just provide a link to this end argument. In the mid-2010s, the Islamic State was taking large swaths of land in the Middle East. Does that have anything to do with the topic of this video? Yeah, kinda, if you think the doorman in Home Alone 2 matters to the main story, because Great Value brand Taliban are simply setting the plot for our main story. So IS is rapidly expanding, and considering it's not life to America, they're obviously designated a terrorist group, prompting America to lead a bombing campaign against them. The part of this campaign we're going to focus on is in Syria, where the US is also supporting the Syrian Democratic Forces on the ground, also known as the SDF. Who is the SDF? Well, they're kind of the sidekick to the story, like Robin to Batman. You see, in the same time frame, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is using government military forces to fight the Syrian civil war because he doesn't like dissent. And currently the dissent he isn't liking is the vote you out of office kind. So he's arresting, torturing, and killing people, and even resorting to chlorine, sarin, and mustard gases on his people. Basically, dude's going full dictator, no looking back now, and SDF forces are fighting to remove him from power. Not helping is the fact that Russia is aiding Assad and providing constant aid and support, and even used sarin gas on Syrian citizens in 2017. Also ironically, Assad is fighting IS as well. Now I know what you're thinking, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, meaning everyone is going to join forces to fight this terrorist group. Right? Wrong. Communism is absolute trash, we'll never get along, all IS is doing is distracting us, but don't worry, take a number, have a seat, and we'll get back to you shortly. So the spread of these clowns eventually leads the US to form a global coalition to stop it. Basically, not only is the US going to resort to its normal MO anytime there's a problem, bomb the absolute shit out of it, we're also going to round up a bunch of our friends and proceed to beat you into submission. But Rabid, Russia and Syria are fighting IS too. Did you offer them to join? Absolutely not, because losers don't get to sit with the winners. The US is well known for its intel, but in the days leading up to the battle, Ray Charles himself would be able to see that something was up. Wagner forces were staying on the border of the area the US and SDF were operating near. Of course, US officials were in constant contact with Russia over this. Now, I don't have the exact quotes of their correspondence, but I imagine it was close to, "These are our terrorists, go find your fucking own." Russia constantly insisting that there were no troops or mercenaries operating there, but Russia lies more than a mom saying we'll see, so there's really nothing the US can do except watch to see if it becomes a problem, and of course it does. At 10 p.m. on February 7th, 2018, a force of hundreds of Syrian militiamen and Russian contractors launched an assault on an SDF headquarters near Khasham using artillery, mortars, and rockets while being supported by T-72 and T-55 tanks. Once again, the US called Russia and, just generalizing, said, "Bro, what the fuck, do you want to become potato food?" And Russia, of course, would say, "We know nothing." Now this is my favorite part of this entire thing. The US would say, "There's no Russians over there. Like, at all. Are you sure?" And Russia would respond, "Yes, we are." The US would then respond, and I quote, "Okay, we'll handle it." And handle it is exactly what America would do, because for the next 4 hours, pro-Syrian government forces and Wagner forces would be bombarded by everything the US has in the area. Remember, this is America, and our go-to is if there's a problem, try blowing it up first. I cannot stress enough just how much these guys are bombarded. And before you think, "Oh, so sweet, the US is helping the little guy for once." No, that is not what's happening here. We're just being the anti-hero as usual. It's what we do best. You see, nothing pisses the US military off more than US troops being attacked, and there was roughly 30 or 40 US special forces inside the base the pro-Assad forces were attacking. Which is a stupid-ass decision to start, okay? These aren't just regular American troops, they're our personal best, and don't look at being outnumbered as a bad thing, rather, they look at it as a chance to farm for XP. Add to that the military brass was absolutely pissed that our guys are being attacked, and I guarantee you a general somewhere said, "You see those forces? Yes, sir. I don't want to anymore." They were so brutally abused you can't even find the fighters on their respective family tree anymore. They didn't just put a return to sender stamp on their birth certificate, they nuked the file cabinet that it sat in. If you don't understand how American military works, there's no such thing as overkill, only shame. American forces called in AC-130 gunships, F-15s, Reaper drones, Apache helicopters, F-22s, and even B-52s. Yes, they called in the buff. Hell, I'm surprised they didn't throw the kitchen sink at them, because we've done that once before. Or was it a toilet?
Both. Both is good.
And there must have been a bored Marine artillery group nearby, because they did what Marines do best and decided to throw down too. Now I'm sure some of you are confused, but Rabid, the US hasn't participated in any aggressive actions lately. Well, let me check who was president at the time. Donald fucking Trump.
I'm gonna come.
Okay, I'll never promote a politician because they're all dice and vacuum cleaners. They fucking suck. But one thing about Trump, the man embodies fuck around and find out. I mean, just absolute dad's home from work energy. The man handed the Taliban leader at one point a satellite photo of the leader's house, told him, and I quote, figure it out, and then just walked out of the fucking room. And for good measure, he dropped a Moab bomb on IS forces in Afghanistan to prove a point. That itself is worthy of a video. For 4 hours, these guys got pounded like a stubborn nail. SDF forces had 1 wounded, Syrians had 100 plus killed, Russians lost 10 to 100 people, and as far as equipment goes, well, let's just say these guys are going to need an Uber to get back home. And to make matters worse, Russia left their dead to rot.
The audacity!
And the best part of the story, when the battle was over, the US called Russia on the deconfliction line and said, and I quote, sorry, you were right, there's no Russians over there anymore. Need me to break it down? The US basically called and said, you're right, there are no Russians in the area because we killed them all. Grasp the level of this flex, okay? That's like giving some bully the smoke and then saying, yeah, no, I don't have lunch money for you anymore because I beat your ass. In summation, just don't mess with the US. Obviously don't touch our fucking boats, but even if it's just regular military guys, and especially in this case, special forces, fucking leave them alone. If you fuck with them, your last bad day is going to be a doozy. Hell, I know people who are ready to be okay with war because the cost of gas went up. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you have an idea for a military or current topic I should cover, comment below and I'll give you a shout out in that video. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to throw some love on my Cash App or Venmo because Go Fast parts are freaking expensive. As always, stay classy. Peace. North Korean troops are in Ukraine, messing shit up already, and I don't mean in a good way. And I feel like this is going to be a super fun video.